stream of Sekiro Shadows Die Twice. This should be part 8. We are now in the Fountainhead Palace, the divine, close to the divine realm. I'm just going to send out a couple of links here, social media links, just to hopefully get a few more people on. Okay, just getting this all set up. Okay. Oops. A couple more to go here. All right. Let's take a quick look around here. What I'm going to do is equip the monocle. I'm going to get a few more people on here. Also explain a bit of lore things that I feel are kind of important before we advance. And we're going to do a couple of other little missions here. And I'll show you a way to make it a little bit easier on yourself. A little bit easier. Okay, so here, from the flower viewing stage, I believe this is called. Yeah. We haven't crossed the bridge yet into the actual palace area, but we can have a look around. It's good to look around in this area because there's a lot of things you wouldn't normally notice if you were just taking a casual look, so spend some time with the Niger monocular. As you can see, out on the edge of the broken Sakura tree, which is an Everblossom tree, by the way. Notice the broken branch and the rest of the lore that we've learned so far. There is an Okami warrior out there, and that's the one that, if you've tried to go into the water at this point, has been zapping you with lightning. What we want to do is we want to get up to where this purple tree is for now. There's a lot of things we actually want to do. We want to go all through this palace. We want to get over there. We want to get over there, and we want to get up there, and we want to get up that way. And we'll do that. But there's a few things I want to get out of the way first. And this is something that if you are having troubles with the difficulty in this game, this is going to help you immensely. And we'll get into some good old-fashioned scraps in this one too, so. Alright, so let's continue on. So what I've done is I've shown you that previous grind loop at the end of the last stream. I've ground up 5 skill points and a ton of money, which I spent on divine confetti at the merchant near at the dilapidated temple. Every merchant now will have infinite divine confetti, infinite snap seeds, and infinite something else. I believe Goken sugar or one of the sugars or something like that. So you won't have to worry about mining that now from the Ashina warriors. Just use your money, and every time you have money now at this game, you either buy spirit emblems or divine confetti. But I'm gonna show you something you can do with your skill points once you've gotten everything you kind of need. I would suggest. I I wouldn't suggest trying to get everything in your first playthrough, just because you get so much more experience in your NG pluses that it's just much easier, like once you get to your first couple grind spots in NG plus 2, to get what you need. So I would just save your skill points for now, and then yeah, we'll continue on. Okay, so our goal for now is to get up to there. What I would suggest is keep Sabimaru equipped. It's indispensable against these Okami warrior women here. These are the ones. Those are the warrior ones. And then we got to watch out for the nobles, the palace nobles, the ones that suck our life away. But before we move along past this bridge, we're gonna do something. I'm going to do the grind. I'm gonna just do the grind thing that we were doing, but I'm gonna move in there and into that area that I ran through. I suggest you go through that. There's a bunch of interesting things in there. I'm not gonna do it. Maybe we will later, but I just want to get in there for one thing in particular. So I'm just gonna do this, what we do in this grind loop. Target the Okami warrior, jump and hit her out of the air, and go into Sabimaru, and then just avoid that kind of stuff, and just spam your attack pretty much, and they'll go down quick. Okay, so they have good drops. They have good high-end drops. So what I'm looking for here is a hole in the ground where there's water, and I believe it's either right there or over there. I think it's right here, so I'm gonna go right there. Yeah, this is what we're looking for. So dive down, go forward, and come back up, and now we're in a new area. Oops. Get up. So pick up things here. There's going to be some useful stuff. Carp scale. Carp scale. Another carp scale. And a chest. What do we have? Water of the palace. A cup filled with divine waters, a drink popular with nobles of the palace. When a wedding procession arrives at the Fountainhead Palace, this is the drink they are greeted with. The nectar of the palace nobles. Go ahead, drink to your heart's content. So if you remember in our last stream, through the Mibu village, there was the priest who was dressed in the noble garb, who was drinking, and he was speaking of the water of the palace. So we found some. Let's actually, what I advise doing here at this point is just rather than running back through there and potentially running into more than you can bargain for, or you're bargaining for. Oh, I still have the demon bell on. Just homeward idle back to the last communed idol, which will be the flower palace. I'm gonna turn the demon bell off. I don't need it. I was just using it for that grind. It's great to do that grind. You get things like grave wax, a few other things that are good for high-end crafting materials. I am going to I'm going to use. Actually, why did I come back here? Oh yeah, I wanted to travel to the Sunken Head Valley, and I want to go to Sunken Head Valley, Sheena Depths. I want to go to the watermill. Yeah, the watermill. There's something that I completely forgot that I don't normally forget, and I remember actually saying I was going to go get it in one of the earlier streams of the series, and I didn't. But we'll go get it now, but not now, after this. Um, and then it's a key item in the upgrade tree that I just didn't get, and I usually get it early on in the game, kind of cheesily. So we'll get it legit this time. Okay, so from here, you'll remember we fought Orin of the Water. Jinzo's dead. He finally found her. But we are also now in the twilight phase of the game, so she's gone. You may have noticed it appears early in the game, but it doesn't really make much sense until now. That at twilight, apparitions start appearing. So what we want to do, well, first, Gotchan sugar is useful for this whole thing. Get ready for that kind of stuff, because what's going to happen is you're going to go to areas where you think you're clear, you think there aren't enemies, and you might suddenly become overwhelmed. So here we have an Ashina warrior in ghost form, and they do plenty of damage, as you can see. See? They do plenty of damage. More than the regulars. And they do their perilous quite a bit more. They do a lot more damage, and they are much harder to put pressure on. See how much more posture damage they do? Carry for the kill. So they tend to do quite a bit. Good practice though. So if you want to fight a more advanced version of the Ashina warrior, come to the watermill and just walk across the bridge once you're in the twilight phase of the game. That's after you've basically gone to the Fountainhead Palace. So we're not quite at the end game phase. We're going to get there, hopefully by the end of this stream. But there's a few things anyway I want to do to get out of the way first, and to show you some tricks. So what you got to do is come back up here. I suggest using Gotchan sugar just to make yourself slightly less detectable. Sneak through here. Back under where we saw the thirsty guy. And use the secret hidden shinobi door. And find our friend here, who was thirsty last time we saw him. Dude, you're not drinking from a cup. Oh, that's disgusting to think about. Centipede eggs not dissolving. Unfit for citizens of the palace. Ooh. Well, let me tell you, bro. This is your humble servants. Give him the water of the palace.
ける。松座に加えていただける。ようよなあ、そなたにこれを信ぜよう。
He gives you the Dragon Spring sake. So you can use this for lore. So he's drinking that down. Sounds like he's heaving. It's gross. It's disgusting. Oh, I didn't get any loot. Divine Confetti, who gives a shit now? Okay, so we can see that that's happening. There's more loot over there that I didn't get. Red Lump, actually quite useful in NG pluses. Collect them, you tend to collect them rarely throughout your playthroughs, but they're actually very useful for certain situations and they'll higher NG pluses, so just hold on to them if you wish to do, if you want to play ahead a bit further in this game once you're through. So I'm actually going to... Oh, I almost killed him. I'm gonna homeward idle. Back to the last community idol. I still have the Bell Demon on, which I'm gonna take off. I'm just gonna take that off now. You can keep it on if you feel comfortable fighting enemies that are, you know, a little bit harder. But in your first playthrough, I advise just keeping it on when you're doing your grinds, when you know you're in a safe place. But when you get good, just keep it on all the time, because then it just makes the game more fun. So you'll see this guy will probably be significantly easier. as he decimates me with freaking the big overhead Ashina. It's the same thing. We want to make ourselves a bit hidden. Jump back down through here. Go around this guy with a hat here. He'll dish terror-inducing things out at you. They're the only ones that do that. Find the secret shinobi door again, and we hear a familiar flute sound. And we now have a noble of the palace. He has ascended, but he is weak, like the first one we found that was seducing that town up the hill. So we can see where that goes. The evolution of that whole mythology. Look what this gives you. Treasure Carp scale. You get 5. Okay. So let's see how many I do have. How many treasure carp scales do I have? Where are they again? I have 11. And I do have the other 2 fragments of the mask. I have the tally board, and I have the Father's Bell charm. Okay. So the Father's Bell charm is interesting. We're going to idle back to the dilapidated temple. This is cool. This is one of the more interesting parts of the game. You do this for one of the, I believe not the return ending, but the purification ending. It's another ending. You've gotten to this point, so you can talk to the sculptor, do your upgrades if you need them. But what you want to do now is take that bell that Emma gave you, that you got from overhearing that we did in the last stream. That you want to use that here to pray. Now you remember the first time we did this, we had the sun, we had the charm, the bell from the old woman, and in this case we have the one that was on Owl. So we're heading into the Harada estate again, but things are different. Memories are different. What happened is different. But we're going to avoid going up there for now. Up there is a very challenging mini-boss. I don't want to do that right now. What I want to do is I want to get something that I should have got near the beginning of the game. So I'm going to just get a very basic assortment of gear happening here. Basics. We'll get the Aqua Spirit Fall in this game. And just run back. Like, I don't know. Kill this guy, get him out of the way. You can puppeteer him if you want. But you're in the Harada state. Again. So some things are going to be different, but they're not... The whole first area, not so much. Similar enemies. I don't believe... Yeah, none of the mini-bosses will be here. But there's a couple different things. Okay. So, when you first enter... I'm not playing so good right now. So when you first enter, you'll see it down here. I'm gonna re-get it. I think it has to be re-established. Nope. The bamboo thicket slope. When we first get here, I believe this is 2 streams ago. And you may have seen this in my other stream. You can go up this way. And there's kind of a back door into the rest. Oh, I'm thinking of somewhere else. There's a back door into the rest of the palace. Ooh, I want that. Get these. So remember, now we can also dive. So we can check out areas that we haven't checked out before. I suggest you spend a play session, just make a list of every kind of places you haven't been. Aw, fail. I suggest you just make a list of places you haven't checked underwater or whatever, and just go through them all, because you will find things like that. And actually some other really important things. I'm gonna go gather one of them after I do this. So what normally you can do is you can jump off the bridge where you would normally go up, and Owl was up there. You can jump off that bridge, or back that way. You can jump into the water and come back to this, and you'll find this bamboo kind of area. Near the back towards a waterfall, there'll be some kind of item, contact medicine. You can come in here. This is where it actually first teaches you the consecutive wall jump. So I should have come through here. This is where you would first come across a purple ninja in the game. And there is lore to it, which I will explain. I think he's still here, yeah. I don't know if he's any harder, so he shouldn't be too much of a problem for me. I advise you just kind of clear this area out. You get a free hit on him. I'm gonna. So now that I have a decent amount of it, yeah. So I've bought in quite a bit of it. I kind of keep it in my quick menu now, Divine Confetti, just because. Fuck it, you can just buy more of it now. So let's make sure. Single purple ninja. So much more damage. Oh, I could have hit him out of the air too. I actually don't like fighting these guys with Divine Confetti on. No. Overkill. It's like where you first learn about scrap iron. Jeez, I can't believe I missed this. Okay, so you come here and you open this up. Well, what's interesting, I'll explain some of the lore here, is you actually get, okay, so you get this. You get the Mist Raven's feathers, which is actually a prosthetic. And I can't believe I didn't actually get this. It's not super useful. I haven't really found, I mean, you can kind of do some showy things with it. But what's interesting about this is the fact that there was a purple ninja here. You'll find this in both memories. This isn't any different in the memory you received earlier than it is now. But you notice he was up on this pagoda. This is the 3-stage pagoda that you would hear Aniyama talk about, that there's treasure in. But you can see he was overlooking everything. That overlooking the burning of the palace, overlooking the pathway up to the palace, everything. This person, aside from Owl, was key in orchestrating the first invasion of the Hirata estate. So you learn that early on. It's pretty cool. And you learn how powerful they are early on. So the Interior Ministry have been onto you and onto this whole thing because Owl is part of the Interior Ministry. And there's a part of me that knows we're not quite done with Usui yet. So you can see they still give scrub level kind of experience. Don't worry about these guys unless you want oil. So what we're going to do is we're going to head to the the dilapidated temple. Place our Mist Raven prosthetic on, and hopefully open up some things on our prosthetic tree. And then we'll make our way back to the Fountainhead Palace and do some exploring. So the sculptor's fidgety. Something's happening. So we'll fit the Miss Raven. And go back to our upgrade chart and upgrade Miss Raven. Why can't I upgrade the kunai? Do I just not have enough money? Okay, so we'll do our upgrades right now. I think I should have enough. It was 1,000. I'll just cash out whatever I have. Money is not hard to come by now at this point in the game, so do whatever you need to do to get whatever you need. So this should get me a little ways on the tree. So upgrade. So Phantom Kunai. So this is we bought that Phantom Kunai material. You could see down there in the bottom right, 1 of 1. This is the Phantom Butterflies. This is Miss Lady Butterfly's magical shuriken. So it'll be a normal shuriken that you throw, but then the butterflies come out and they go towards your target. They do chip damage no matter whether the enemy is blocking. So you can use this as a weapon. I should have got it. I really should have got it earlier. You can use it as a weapon. It's useful in like Benichiro, Owl, to get some initial damage off. And if you unload a full, even 15 spirit emblems worth, like at your lowest, into an enemy, even if they block every single one of the shurikens or deflect, the chip damage is enough to do to get you well on your way to taking down their vitality. So it's a good way to just get some initial damage in. But other than that, they're a little they cost a bit. They cost twice as much as a normal throwing star, and you'll find later, which we will get, the Lazulite one still does damage anyway too, and it only uses 1, but that's a lot more expensive. Okay, so for other things, other upgrades, this requires something that I'm going to show you guys right away here. So I'm just going to get everything that we need. Everything we can get anyway. So we need to add a fulminated mercury for the Lotus Umbrella, which is good for 1 fight. And also this is also good for 1 fight that you need later, or an optional boss battle. We will not be able to get any of these until the end, or near the end. And you can only get 2 of them, up to 2 of them on a single playthrough. So if you're going for platinum, I suggest getting this stuff as quickly as you can. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to head back to the Fountainhead Palace, to the flower viewing stage. Now again, whenever you're in the Fountainhead Palace, I recommend arming the highest level of Sabimaru you have as a prosthetic. The Okami, according to legend, according to the lore in this game, are weak to its poison. We've read that in a few places on the Sabimaru note, on the Sabimaru info itself. It was used as a weapon to fight in a war that happened a long time ago when the Okami came down from the Fountainhead Palace and attacked the Ashina people. That was not ever really explained. And that's that, really, to be honest. What I'm going to do is equip Gotcha, and sugar. I'm gonna go around the back here. There's another. Also, I'm going to turn on. Just always show the GUIs, just so we know what we have. Just so you know what I have. So equip your Shinobi Firecracker or Long Spark. Get some health if you need it. Recommend in terms of abilities, double Jumonji, keeping it on, and head back this way from the Flower Viewing Palace. Put yourself on a Gachin Sugar. We're going to be doing some stealth. Now, you can go around that corner, and if you've explored this area, like I said, you should. You'll notice there's plenty of enemies in there. Plenty of enemies around. And you may have noticed something back behind where we're going here. Something wandering around behind an area. Let's get up here and take out these beings. And what we'll find, watch out down there in case something notices you. Oh, he came running out. So we might actually have to fight him. There's another bowl. Now what you can do is the edge of his play area is there. He'll come back. We'll wait for him to come back, and he'll settle back here, hopefully. Put a Gachin Sugar on just in case. So he doesn't notice us. He'll come back. Okay, if not. Normally there's a way you can scare him with firecrackers. And you'll just kill him. But, oops. We'll just fight him. What am I doing? Don't worry about the Gachin. What am I doing? Hako. And Divine Confetti again. Because it is. I am spending this way too early. Now we can plunge for a death blow. Oh, not a death blow. Let's just fight it normally. So you fight it like the bull before. Wait for it to come towards you. Do a deflect if you can. Deflect if you can. Block. Get some heals in. Hit it in the head. I might die. Stabs. Stabs are huge. Stabs will stun the bull like crazy. So buff up again. Stab, 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 stab. This bull's gonna come after you again. Stab, stab, and you got him. Ooh. Hit him in the head. And you got him. Go for the death blow. Now he gives you something cool, actually. Not just a prayer bead. So you will get a prayer bead. So you get a little bit more spirit emblems. It's the one way to get the extra spirit emblems. And you get some adamantite scrap, some yashirika sugar, and a bulging coin purse. So there's a few goodies you get back here. Killing that guy. So now that I'm close to a skill point, I'm gonna do a quick grind in this area again, and we'll continue on. So save. So you'll see how fast this actually goes up by doing this. Did I actually get rid of the demon bell? Did I ever do that? Okay. So here I recommend, yeah, having just Mortal Drawn just in case. It's good out, good piece out. Go behind this guy, target this guy, get a kill. Watch out for the lightning. Whenever they do lightning, just jump in the air and hit them. Oh. Pause. Oh, I'm gonna get lightning. So be prepared to jump in the air and lightning reversal. Again, always have Sabimaru on with these guys, because you can just use it to take them down fast. Jump up, lightning. So we shocked him. Carp into Sabimaru. And reap the rewards. As you can see, we get some good end game grinding materials and rest and a decent amount of experience. So we'll just do this until we get 6. I'll show you there's a couple other ways you can do this. I find that this is just the quickest way. You just run, get an attack, get the death blow. Usually gives you an invincibility against that lightning, and you can use basically just R1 spam these ones, and then go into Sabimaru. And it poisons them, and then you usually get a death blow. They're quite easy. Actually, learning them, this is actually another good practice place, is once you've defeated most of the things in that area, other things will eventually start coming to look for you there. Once you've defeated most things in that area, it's actually a good place to practice against those. Because when we're up in there, we're going to have to actually fight those things head on pretty regularly and in groups. So we have to get creative, and you have to learn their movesets. They're a little bit different than anything else we've fought so far. And if you haven't learned to do that yet, you will die. So Sabimaru, once you get to like a certain point, and it just wrecks them. So as you can see, there's more in there. There's a Palace Noble, a red one in there. So we're close, we'll grind up. There's another way you can go back up that way and get like one of the archers to add like about 1,000 experience, but I find just going between these three is quick. You get a lot of endgame loot items if you have the demon bell on. You get to do some lightning reversal practice, which you're going to need. Yeah, just take him out of the air. You can actually do a anti-air death blow, which is something I don't have, which I screwed up on, which is something I will pay for, but you'll see why. So that place where I ended up going when I ended up getting the umbrella thing where there was supposed to be a merchant. He ends up early on in the game, he sells you a move called anti-air death blow, where anything that's jumping, you'll see a red dot if they jump above you. You could jump up and kill them out of the air. I don't have that ability, and now that he's gone, I will not have that ability in this playthrough. So I have failed at offering you a all skills playthrough. That never really was the intent anyway, but yeah, so we don't have that. It's useful As you can see, I basically just R1 spammed that enemy. And we got up to 6. Okay, so we're good. So what I recommend doing at this point is going to anywhere, let's see, actually outskirts, the gate path, or stairway. This is very quickly all going to change on us. So let's come back down here and talk to our friend Aniyama. Business is good, I guess. So again, spend your money. I bought a decent amount of divine confetti. How many aqua sugar? Yeah, I'll buy a few of those. And just spend the rest on divine confetti. It is going to become essentially a currency. Snapseed, you can use for certain things later. Phantom Kanai is gone. I don't need to worry about anything else. So, don't forget about Aniyama, even though you think like maybe that's the top of his quest line. Don't forget about him. Remember this area? This area is still important. It will be important for quite some time. So let's maybe yeah, let's head back to the Fountainhead Palace, like I said. Oops. Back to the flower viewing stage, and we're going to advance the plot. Sorry. Bit gassy. Bit burpy. Okay, so back at the palace. So you can arm things like the eel livers we've been getting to help you with the lightning if you take too much damage. But just listen for that scream that they do. And basically once they're done that, jump. And as soon as you're in the top of your jump, hit R1 and you'll dish the lightning back at them. Just get used to that. Fight that one over and over until you're used to that kind of sound. I will probably die. So we did get an extra skill point there. I'm kind of just saving skill points, and you'll see why shortly here. I'm essentially again just trying to get to where that other blossom is up there, and we get some interesting lore by doing that. Oh, whoa, Jesus Christ! Right. There's a big fucking fish. So. And yet another broken bridge. What kind of fish was that, you ask? May it have been carp-like? So let's get across here. I also advise just you're going to need it. Oh, I should probably mine some of this. Just staying stealthy. So we are heading back this way. We want to not be noticed, really. And there's just this kind of a specific area I want to get to. You'll notice there's quite a few of them here. So they'll go by. Be quick. Be quick. And ninja-like. There's another one up here. Be quick. And ninja-like. There's two. Puppeteer. And get prepared to fight. This will not be good if our... Ooh, we must target the right one. Lightning, watch out. They're everywhere. So they didn't see us, we're lucky. Watch out for them. Save your gotcha sugars. I want to get that spirit fall, so we will go headless hunting eventually here. But for now, I just want to get up here. Now this is something a lot of people miss in the game on their first playthrough. Now you'll hear some magic or weird shit here. You come to here. Whoa. Are we in combat? Oh, never mind. Oh, okay. So we can't open this. But something's happening back there. Sounds like there's some munching. Now what I want to do is highlight something. This isn't something you would really think about or notice if you're not really watching for it. But there is actually a cave up there. So if you take... I'm just waiting for one of these things to come around the corner and actually kill me. There is a... if you use the monocle, there is a latch point there. And follow the Everblossom. Follow the Everblossom. And you have to kind of make a Miyazaki leap of faith here. And grapple. Now what's interesting here, and you'll see these white lizards, and that will come into play sort of once I have a certain thing. They're different. What is that ability they're doing on you? It's not like the other, it's not poison. They're stealing your life. They're stealing your life away. Some kind of ability that steals your life away. Now what's kind of cool is you can actually get that. Like other lizards, they go down pretty easy just with throwing stars. You can see something's different about this one. Where are you? So I'm gonna get across. And we're gonna find something quite interesting here. Get across here. And all through here. Now there's another idol here. And something quite familiar. So I'm gonna unleash a little bit of my own lore theory here. So we're gonna talk with this guy first. I rested because I want pain. And now I have to go back through all that. I'm gonna get a couple things here. Let's talk with this guy. Sound familiar? Look familiar. Notice where the water goes. Notice where the water goes. The water goes down the waterfall from the Fountainhead Palace through the Dragon Spring area of the Hirata estate. And look, there's a guy here, and 3 years ago he was down there. He has a different name. I think this is the same guy. I think he was either banished and somehow ascended back, but we'll get to that. So there's several things you can buy from him, two of which are quite important. But the first is, I'm going to buy this. This will make your life a lot easier initially, assuming you've purchased several skills up to this point. And if you're going for plat, but if you are having trouble with the game and have up until this point, it's kind of sad that it's actually this late in the game, but it's kind of meant really to just help you with the last boss. Is we get the last fragment of this mask that we've been getting pieces of throughout the game. So we'll come back and talk with him. So now we have the dancing dragon mask. A dragon's head dancing mask. Made whole by piecing fragments together, grants the ability to exchange skill points for attack power in the sculptor's idle menu. The Okami warrior women would wear this to the Fountainhead Palace. There they would dance as an offering for the dragon. Mysteriously, the ritual left them brimming with vigor. So you can use your skill points to get more attack power. So if you're having problems with the boss, you can grind now and get stronger, do more damage. Thing is, there is a soft cap you eventually hit very quickly. I think we are pretty much at it, at the first cap, at 9. So you get diminishing returns of this. I recommend you don't use this too much if you're going for a platinum, but in your later NG pluses, getting a little bit ahead might help, and your later NG pluses will be giving you definitely enough experience to get any missing abilities that you haven't gotten yet. So if you're having trouble with the game on your first playthrough, use this mask. Use your ability points now, especially if you have all the skills that you think you need. And just focus on getting your damage better. So we're going to do that. This is the same as beating a boss now. So now we can enhance through skill points. So I ground up 5 before we played. And yeah, let's do that. Boom. Attack power enhanced to 10. So now it's like we've beaten another boss. So you do up until, I think, let me see. Let's take a quick look at what, there's some stats on this. Attack power, Sekiro, soft caps. So it's soft caps of 14. Is the first soft cap. So everything after or up until 14 gives you plus 20 to your base damage. So a significant percentage improvement of attack. Going plus 20 from like 1 to 2 was 20% more 25% more damage you were doing. The next one was 20. The next one was 16.6. The next one was 14. So you're doing up until 14. And up until 14 it is the same, it's plus 20. So you're doing significantly more. After that though, at 15, from 15 to 27, where the second soft cap is, and you'll get, again, this applies to when you beat bosses, not just using this. its diminishing returns. It's +4 after 27, +4 base damage, and that's all the way up to 51. So that's 3-4 playthroughs through the game of soft cap. The thing is, after that, it's horrible. From 51 to 99, you get +0.8 hit points per damage per 5 skill points. So at that point, you know, it is a significant jump in damage that you do between 51 and 99, but that is, what is that? Like 250 skill points to do that grind. So if you can do that through your NG pluses, you'll get there. By the time you're through NG plus 7, and if you're doing any serious kind of grinding in there too, you'll get that quite easily. But this first soft cap, basically you can get up to 14, 15 before you get into the late game bosses, and you will have a lot easier time with them. So some of these bosses, again, that we're going to fight eventually, have led people to quit this game, rage quit it. And I'm here to tell you that if you do this in this order, get these scales, get them where you can. If you do this in this order, get that mask. You can use your attack, or use your skill points towards your attack. So if you're having trouble with bosses or areas again, it's going to help a lot. So we'll go along that path. So from here though, I want to explore the Fountainhead Palace a bit more. And what I want to do is I want to go take out our friend, our lightning friend. So you can head back over here. We've found an idol. You can head back over here. I recommend you take out, not the archer. Watch out for the archer though, but take out the swords person first. Watch out for the archer though. They are deadly in their accuracy. Head back this way. Don't fight if you don't have to. Save your gotchins for sure, because you're gonna need them. And then I recommend doing this. Get this out of the way first. This is a bit of a challenge. Ooh. I am not holding my own advice at all. My own advice. Ugh. So horrible. Have Sabimaru equipped. Health. Death blow for health. And clear the area. Okay, so somebody saw us. Probably one of the archers. They see you from far away and it's kind of funny. Down there is a Shichimin warrior. We have not fought in one yet. There's 2 in this game, or 3 in this game, and I will show you where they all are eventually. We will get down there and fight him because he has something we want. This part of the game is a bit interesting. You have to kind of play this very carefully. There's a lot of enemies down there that can do some serious damage. There's an idol over there, and then there's our friend out on the branch. We want to get that friend. Below us, though, there is a small army of archers. So the best thing to do is start around back here. I recommend this Gotch and Sugar all the way. And once we're through this area, we're gonna go back and visit another area. So Gotch and Sugar. And then jump down, watch around the corner, but jump down and do a stealth landing. So jump down, stealth. Target. Oh, and we've been hit. Go for the kill. Take these out as quickly as you can. Take them out as quickly as you can. Watch out for being hit by the archer. They're deadly. Ugh. Okay, so we still have a gotcha and sugar in effect. Make use of it, because you need it. No archers here. Run in. Take out one of these guys, for sure. And make him a ghoul. Get everybody fighting. We just dish shock back. Now get out, run, if you can, to the idol. Get it, and rest if you can. If you can, you're gonna have a fight. If you can't, you're gonna have a fight. Good enough. So we've rested, so you can get through there. That's a fun area to practice your stealth, practice some puppeteer, practice your blood smoke. You can actually do that whole area with blood smoke ninjutsu if you have full spirit emblems. We haven't saved up for that in our skill tree. So this is a tricky enemy for some people because you can very easily just jump off. This enemy will fire lightning at you. So you do the lightning dodge, or the lightning intercept, lightning return. But this enemy, like the Mist Noble that we fought in the village, is a lot weaker than appearances may show. So get in there and do some quick damage with some R1 spamming and Sabimaru. Maybe equip throwing stars going in so you can knock them out of the air. But Sabimaru and R1 will basically win you this fight. And lightning reversal if you get it. Target. You can defend against those. Watch the second one though. Oh, and I died. But you can just spam R1. It's pathetic. It's really shouldn't be a boss. But that gets you a prayer breed. So we're like 3. And now we have access to the lake. We have access to the lake now. And there's all kinds of craziness in the lake. All kinds of lore, all kinds of other stuff. We're going to go back through these other areas because there's some other stuff in there that I want to talk about. But we're going to explore a few other things first. I recommend when you're down here to equip the shuriken. Because you'll fight those dogs. Or sorry, when you're down back over there and around the tree over here, you'll find those dogs, those lightning dogs, and they're good just to get rid of with the shuriken, because lightning, even though they're just a dog, lightning is still shock, and it will take a significant amount of your everything down. So be on the lookout for them. Obviously, the water, we've seen what's in the water. We can go in it now. We don't have somebody shooting lightning at us anymore. But we know what's in the water. But why is the old woman that we've been seeing throughout this game, various points, why is she here? What is this place? What is she looking for? Anyone who's terrified of, you know, deep water, submechanophobia, things buried underwater, this part of the game will horrify you. It really does things to my mind, that's for sure. Can we get? Ooh! We have the frickin' we have the Carp, big giant fish. He's there. He's in the water. Sure. So this is the same woman that we talked to back over there in the Mibu Manor, who said not to go through or to watch out for the nobles in the center of the area, and What is she doing out here now on in the middle of the water, uh, looking for something? We don't know. And how did she get out here? How did she pass the frickin'? How did she pass the noble? Or the person shooting lightning? We don't know. Let's talk to her.
もしや代理に行かれるのですか?
Oh yes, ma'am.
それならば脇道の方がよろしいです。今は水の中、主の恋の寝床になっている大きな洞窟の先でございます。
So you know exactly what's happening.
なぜそのような。
代理の扉はもう長い間閉じたままです。大事なお使いがあるのですが、このババの身ではどうにも果たしようもなく、お若いお人に代理の扉を開けていただければと。今は水の中、主の恋の寝床になっている大きな洞窟の先
Who'd have thought?
代理への脇道です。そして代理に着いたら、うちより扉を開けていただければと。大事なお使いがあるのです。
So she's been trying to get something done here too. There's a beautiful shot of something that's kind of important. Those those pillars up there. Those are important, lore-wise. So what is she doing out here? Why does she want us to open that door? What business does she have in there? I'm not exactly sure how freely you can swim around in the lake at this point with the carp. I think the carp might come out every once in a while, but I think you're generally okay. If not, we'll find out together. We'll find out together. I forgot. I So you'll find here tons of carp. Tons of carp. Tons of carp scales. The carp fish, you'll be coming back through here pretty regularly just to get them again. They'll disappear on you. Just come back to that area later if you're hunting them. I'm not even going to go after them right now. Because you can just you can pick up a lot of things just here. Below, at the very bottom of the lake, over there, that's where the giant carp lives. So we can kind of just avoid that area for now, or we can go, maybe take a look. There's a couple things I want to get first, though, and a couple of things I want to show you back in the real world. So explore these areas that you can now. Get the carp if you can. If they notice you, just run after them. You can get them and then just do a chasing or a run, one of those kind of things. Don't worry too much about them though. You kind of just have to come back for them and get them later. I've gotten as many as I need right now, though. So you can see they notice you. Watch out for the Okami person above you. And actually, over here, watch out for... there is a guy who can enfeeble you here. So I'm just showing you exactly what not to do, essentially. You can see there's a carp there that's guarded by other fish. Watch out for them, but just keep slicing. They don't do that much damage, but just keep slicing until they're kind of gone. You can target them or whatever, but there's quite a few of them in this lake, so it's kind of annoying. What you really want to get, though, are a few things. You want to get... I think this is one of them. Oh, there's a red lump down here again, which I said are useful in NG pluses, I find. They're not so useful in... I mean, they're useful. They're useful. They're just... to me, they're more of a challenge item and an item, a high-risk, high-reward item that you can use. They're actually good against the last boss during a certain phase. Just come back this way. Pick up what you can. I thought there was more. So we noticed that the carp dude had some of that lapis material, which is a high-end upgrade. It's the highest upgrade material in the game. You can only get it in the Fountainhead Palace. You won't get it in Shura playthroughs. So you can't get the last upgrades in your Shura playthrough. I find the final upgrades make the game a little more interesting to play. So I like getting them soon, especially for NG Plus playthroughs. They're very useful. One of them, particularly the flame version, the flame vent version, when you use living force on it, basically negates the use for divine confetti. So as you follow these things further down, so yeah, you can basically negate the use for it turns after you use the purple flame vent, you basically get a purple sword. So it turns it into like a divine confetti sword. Not as long, but you get the same effects just from using that. So it's cool. Precious bait. You want to get a few of these. You want to get 3 of them, perhaps. In fact, and there's a couple places you can get them. One is not so suspect, and we'll head there. But I wanted to show you what else is down here, and maybe we'll do something about it. Because actually, it's one of my favorite things to have in this game. Down there, you'll see there's a headless. But there's also another headless. We've dealt with underwater headless before, right? We could do this, right? Now, there's a couple things you can do. Explore the area first. Before you engage in that, just get what you can with little effort. Precious bait, more precious bait. So that precious bait, notice it's slugs. Slugs. What the Mibu villagers were harvesting. So they there's something with the slugs that they seem to want, or that the carp wants, or the carp-like beings want. I kind of want to get rid of the headless down there because of what this lore brings to the game, so I might just try and do it. I can always just swim out if I'm running out of health. Health will be the big one. Terror management is kind of annoying here. I believe they're guarding like a prayer bead or something too, which is pretty... yeah. So I believe the strategy with this one is just keep fighting. So what's happening? This is the Yashiriku sugar headless. This is the other underwater headless, but there's 2. So Yashiriku If you look up that video, I'll post links. He explains lore of these games better than most. Kind of explain this as like there's two of them because of what the ability of the Ashiriku sugar does. Is it brings you closer to death, it halves your health, but it gives you. I think it gives you 25% more damage or something like that, or 50% more damage. Like you do an obscene amount of damage, especially when you combine it with divine confetti. You do crazy damage for a short period of time, and then you need to heal back. It's believed that like Yashirika was split into two beings, and only half of Yashiriku's existence is in that headless, the second, or the real headless. So I believe the strategy is to actually just attack the real headless as much as you can and just go for the win that way. I don't believe you can even attack the other one. I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure on the details, but I want to get to the lore here. So I'm going to try and do this. I'm going to make an attempt. I might die. Big deal. So same as before. Just keep moving around. Get in for an attack when you can. Stay away from the terror-inducing things. Ugh. Horror. Terrible. Terrible. All the other rules apply. Don't get stuck. Oh, terror death. See, I'm doing quite a bit of damage though, so I will resurrect. Go up, 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 up. Keep going up, keep going up, keep going up, 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 up. Run up. This sucks. This is my least fucking favorite headless in the game. Death. Anyway, we'll come back to that. There's a better way to approach that fight. Maybe we'll get some unseen aid here. Nope. Whatever. Not a big loss. So what I want to do now is that we've gotten a couple precious baits is travel back, oddly enough, like I said, go back through the areas where you found water before, but you haven't found or you haven't been able to dive. So let's do that. I'm gonna do one of the least obvious ones in the game, and we're gonna have to come back here for another reason. And we'll get to that in this episode, because we can do some pretty fun, there's some fun lore to unfold here. So we come back to the Sunken Valley passage where the ape was. So while you're fighting the ape, there's a small chance you may have noticed where the water is a bit deeper, where you start swimming. You've probably noticed because you were like, what the fuck? You're probably like fighting and blocking and being a fucking awesome ninja, and all of a sudden you're just like, well, I gotta come back here and heal. Oh shit. So you dive here, and we have some mysterious stuff. Look at this architecture. And what do we find? Precious bait. This water flows from the Fountainhead Palace. Granting the ape its second life. Notice we haven't really talked about that. The ape and its second life. And where the lotus flower was. So we have 3 precious baits. We want that. We want to go now and return to... Let's travel to the Hirata estate. Dragon Spring. Remember? Dragon Spring from the very first time we've gone here. Dragon Spring. And go back and talk to our other pot noble friend, who seems... he'll have something to say, maybe. Maybe. We'll see. If he does. Look for any carp. If you've missed any, you can dive underwater or whatever. Alright, I missed one. I'll probably miss it again. I hate catching these things. Whatever. It's recommended in your first playthrough that you buy everything from these guys, but I don't. To be honest. Now, where is this water coming from? Notice the mist around the corner? Why is there another guy in a pot? Downstream 3 years earlier. Why was he in a pot? Why was the guy in the Amiibo village? Why did he have a basket on his head? One of the survivors, one of the people who got out, one of the cast-outs. He wants to become a carp. Truly precious bait. This is truly precious bait. If bait has hair, you know it's something truly special. The Hirata noble in the pot is obsessed with thoughts of becoming a master. He who receives the scales of the carp become closer to a carp himself. I bestow to you my secret treasure. Truly precious bait. Okay, we'll do that. Anytime somebody laughs at you in a Miyazaki game, you are being used. So let's be used. Let's go give... What's our prayer bead count at? Or did we have enough for another vitality boost? So there's a mini boss we can take on. Oops. So you can see with the attack power boost, just the one extra one we did with the shield, you're basically one-shot. By this point, like, you don't have to go do death blows. So, again, if you're playing and you find the game hard, and you're willing enough to make it up to the Fountainhead Palace, you can get something that will make the stuff you're going to fight, which is, believe me, significantly harder than anything you fought so far, a good bit easier. And on a more linear slope, because I think one of the big surprises is when people get to the end boss of this game, or the end bosses, even the end bosses near the end boss, are of a challenge that are just, you don't really find anywhere else. So I'm trying to think if there's any other mini bosses that I haven't gathered up. There's another boss which I would love to fight, so we're gonna do... I wanted to go through and just do some water, like think about water. So we know under the water in the reservoir there is the headless that we killed. Abandoned dungeon. We're gonna go to the bottomless hole, but we'll go to the Underground Waterway first. And check for some water stuff. Check for some areas where we can dive and collect a few other things. We are going to give ourselves another advantage, another 2 advantages, I would say, going into the last 3, I think, significant boss battles. By defeating 2 trivial bosses, which I think trivial in the in terms of what it takes to beat them, massive in terms of lore. So we'll dive into that for sure. But compared to the bosses that I'll most likely devote whole freaking streams to beat, this will help. I'm already at more attack power than I have in the challenge run I'm doing at Energy Plus 2. Just crazy. This is insane. How much, I can't believe how quickly I kill things. This is blowing my mind. It feels weird to just tap R1 and see their posture gauge go up to full, not by a speck. I'm gonna be so lazy, so let's dive. So we found more there, didn't we? So there's useful and useless things. I think this takes us to a new area. I'm just gonna have a look around, make sure I'm not forgetting anything. Just keep swinging. Okay, so we're near the guys who guard the area, guard the way to Sampu Temple. Okay. So we've gotten everything down here. Now we're going to go to... Sorry. What's another obvious place? Mibu Village. Right, think about the areas where you can dive. Mibu Village. There's some interesting lore here, and we'll talk about this. Credits to that video for most of my learnings of this, and my own, and then there's some of my own interpretation thrown in as well. I try to differentiate. So as you can see, we do insta kill damage now on basic enemies with the basic attack. You're at a good spot, damage wise, basically to fight. I would say anything moving forward, you don't have to waste time on death blows unless you want the iframes. But that's not what we're here. We're here to dive in this disgusting water. What do we see? We see fish that want to kill us. We see something with red fucking eyes. Red carp eyes. A carp that lived in the Mibu village pond has two red eyes. Carp with only eyes that are red cannot become masters. Remember that. Though they're considered incompatible creatures that lack the ideal number of scales, their eyes are said to be everlasting. The researcher Dojun in the abandoned dungeon wants these eyes to improve his procedure. So we have some red eyes. Now we find something disturbing. Fuck off. Fuck off. Fuck off. We're trying to learn about the story. Eat shit. Fucking fish. Okay, so we see Mibu people. This is apparently a common image in Japanese like horror and whatnot. People legs up at the bottom of a river or a lake. And we see the slugs. The bait. What do we get from this? Are these failed attempts at learning the breathing technique? Because apparently we need to know the breathing technique to get into the palace because it's underwater. If we don't know the breathing technique, if you haven't killed the corrupted monk's ghostly image, which kind of acts as, I guess, a gatekeeper, and then indeed the corrupted monk, you don't have the ability to ascend. So So these people just drank and drank and drank and drank and had their slugs, I guess, ready for offering. So let's see what they have down here. Some money. Money. What's this? We have a prayer bead. So that's the fourth. Fourth in this new necklace. So we got a new necklace. We've learned some strange things about the Mibu people and their obsession with this water, scales, their connection to the bait, slugs, and their procession, and the Everblossom. What is the ascension? What is the ascension to the Mibu? To the divine realm. Watch out for the old woman. I'm not being ageist or anything, she just will literally just absolutely stab us until we're dead. So what I want to do now is go back to the Fountainhead Palace. Let's see, Sunken Valley. Yeah. Remember if near Pot Noble's better or Great Sakura. I think I gotta go near Pot Noble. If not, I can find my way around. So we need to get to an area where we can... Yeah, we'll talk to our friend here first though. We'll talk to our friend. He'll know. We're talking to two people stuck in pots. So we have enough for one lapis. We need to get more.
もうお主よ、もしどこかで我と同じ次に会うことがあっても、あやつの願いを聞かぬでおくれや。あれは一族の恥者。己のため、主の恋様を死線とした大逆の罪。はあ。だいぶ鱗が戻ったの。お主のおかげじゃ。ようやっとあやつの罪を償える。しかし、鱗は尊いのう。まるで我までが尊いようじゃ。
Huh. You're priceless.
ここまでの旗ゆえにお主を見込んで話を。
Alright, rather secret. Sorry, I cut that first part off. Yeah, let's listen.
お、さよか。まことあっぱれなおの子よ。知って、姫事じゃが。この餌を、主の恋様に献上しておくれ。くれぐれも誰にも知られず、ひそひそとな。
Some truly precious bait. The Fountainhead Palace noble in the pot is obsessed with becoming one with the master. So we get truly precious bait from both of them.
さすればお主に宮の秘宝を授けようぞ。
The palace, the secret treasure, which is lapis.
もうお主
Minecraft
我の
reference.
餌をよろしく頼むぞえ。ひそひそひそひそこな。
So when we get a chance to use bait, what are we gonna do? I'll show you. So let's rest. Now again, while we're in this location, I like to have gotcha and sugar just to get out of situations. Ninjutsu puppeteer is great. Blood smoke works good for certain situations, but just being stealthy through here is generally safe. I'm gonna take us to another location in the game, or we're gonna have to, or we can fight another boss. And oh, before I do anything, enhance our physical attributes. We have 4. Boom. 8th. I think it's the second last. Yeah, I think there's 9. So we already have more vitality than I have in my playthrough, my next playthrough that I was streaming. So we're already strong. We're already we can already take more damage than I can take, and things do 250% more damage on that playthrough, and I do way less, like 100% less or something stupid. So let's how do we do this again? There's a way to get over there. I think we might have to go up top. How do you do that? Not enough time to... There we go. So we can head back through our cave. It's such a mysterious ability. I need another piece of the puzzle to actually tell you guys about what that actually means. So here we can oversee entire palace. We can oversee the dancing that's happening down there. We want to kind of avoid all that, so let's go back this way. Remember that woman was telling us she wanted to open this door. Now let's see something here. This is interesting if you do this. So you take the monocle. I wonder if it'll let us see him. I don't know if you can notice, but there's like slugs and stuff around over there. That might be where we're wanting to go. how do I do this? I can't remember exactly the best way to do this. I think you... the Shichiman warrior is directly below us, and I believe from one of these points you can do a death blow on him, and I believe that's a trick jump to get you down there. But let's just do some stupid shit. Two archers, not so bad. Don't jump like that. Use the death blow to get your heal. So it looks like we have a way around. Remember, we're gonna fight a couple archers here. Fighting the Shichiman warrior is worth it. In every playthrough. You get two pieces of lapis, I believe, for killing him. Okay, so I think this is where we can see something interesting. So we come here, and we see another broken bridge, which I believe kind of connects the other bridges and, you know, again separates this realm from the realms beneath it. Now, I can't exactly remember how to get over there. I know you have to, like, go up high and then jump across up there on that tree. I can't remember the exact way. So I might have to do some ninjaing around here. Some actual exploration. Yeah, sometimes he'll trigger him, and watch out, he'll still blast terror waves at you if you do. And they go through walls, and they'll hit you, and you'll die. See? Don't piss him off. Keep him out of the game. Right for his shit to disappear. So, okay, now I remember what we need to do. So we dive into the water. Oh, I should have went for the death blow on the doggo. I got a lightning doggo. That's right, I got a lightning doggo. I got a lightning doggo friend. Shichiman warrior. I'm kind of curious to see what this will do. It's like, boy, go kill that thing. Hold on, I'm not gonna be dumb. I really just want to see what the dog does in this situation. I'm gonna get terror blasted. The big beam's gonna come for me anyway. So let's get him off your radar. And kill some stuff to get some res power back. Let's head into the water. Now we're going to see if we can find some carp we can kill. You really just want to... This sucks. You kind of want to just not rely on focus. Because refocusing just basically completely fucks you up and you lose place and you end up losing a carp anyway. And end up with just a bunch of nasty, angry fish that want to eat your guts. And... damn it. Kind of just do this like retarget and then zoom method, but usually you've scared away the good carp by then. Ooh, we got a bad, more bad one. Bad one. Give us our res power back. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try something really stupid. We're gonna steal from Headless. This will probably kill us. Prayer bead, treasure carp scale, and then treasure scales, and then up full speed. Notice there's centipedes. Centipedes. Centipedes around a giant dead carp. That's what we see there. Right there. We see an old dead carp. But we see centipedes. Glowing centipedes growing out of it. So that ties my theory that the rejuvenating the sediment that they talk about, like where the water's pooled deep, or the sediment is centipede eggs. And the immortality even in the blood is centipede eggs. And it's these centipedes. Now this is where it gets really weird, which are probably aliens. They're probably aliens. This is the site of a meteorite crash from a long time ago, which is what explains the lazulite and the mysterious metals that you can only get in this place. Its strange effect on the water and what this life form, this parasitic life form, does to humans. But it comes from somewhere. We're still not at the source yet. It flows from somewhere. But there's something that's creating these eggs, that creates this sediment. It's gross. It's disgusting to think about, and I love it. It's disgusting. So these people have been eating centipede eggs, and they worship centipede centipede stuff. Okay, so we're gonna talk to her again. Just gonna re-equip some usual stuff. Yeah, good enough. I shouldn't need more than 4 heals for this, but we'll do it. Because we need to get to where we need to get to. Talk to her.
今は水の中、主の恋の寝床になっている 大きな洞窟の先が大理への脇道です。
Okay.
そして大理に着いたら、
So what we're gonna
うち
do
より扉を開けていただければと。大事なお使い。
So what we're gonna do is we're gonna use a Gatchin trigger. We need to swim back. Hold on, let's make sure we need... I gotta make sure I know where I'm going. It's back. So she's up here. Oh, there's Carp Guard, I like to call it. There's just like 3 or 4 carp here. You can only get like 1 or 2 at a time though. If you'd be really sneaky and use like Gotcha and Trigger ahead of time, which is what I'm going to do before I do what I do. Oh, somebody saw us. Here she goes. We'll never get her back. Get as many of them as you can, as it's annoying to get them all. I think there's a few more hidden, like the scales hidden in some of these places. Just make sure you explore every little nook and cranny here. There's all kinds of treasure. Like high-end shit that you don't get anywhere else in the game, so just do it. Okay, so that's where I want to go. Okay, so I'm just orienting myself here. Okay, there we go. Okay, so we're going to go straight down. Lump of grave wax, which is a very important upgrade material. So we want to go straight. Down, okay. Down. What's our kind of marker? Red tree branch kind of going down in. Okay, good. So we want to go above land and buff ourselves first, because there's certain things we can't have sugars and stuff like that while we're below the water. But you want to hopefully have what we're looking for. That's twisted tree. We want to have like a Gatchin sugar. And your heal ready. Get down real fast. Get down as fast as you can. So follow that twisted branch. So you're gonna see a path. You're gonna see the giant carp below us, and then you're gonna see the path. We have to follow inside of the buildings. The carp's below us. Okay, you can target him, but just don't really worry about him. Just keep an eye on him, but stay inside these buildings. And when you have Gatchin sugar on, I don't believe he really ever detects you. We don't really know where he's at. So he's swimming back the other way. Oh, he saw. He's gonna destroy this. And most likely kill us in one hit. You can try and head away. Double heal. Hide in these if you can make it in time. I'm probably not going to. Go straight up if you can. You go straight up and through this little hole. You can make it. You've made it. You're okay. Don't worry. It's like fighting the snake. Now, this is where it gets tricky. This is where you can do some interesting stuff, and this is what you should do to up yourself some attack power. Damn it. So we've gotten past the carp. Rest. Now we're on the other side. What do we see? Get some lore. the palace nobles in their marriage, what they call it. Their marriage means they bring what they need. They bring these Okami women. They eat and stay immortal and keep the centipede sediment within them alive. So gross. So awesome though. It's like this parasite. So we'll open the door. And this is that door we couldn't open, and where we heard them chowing down on themselves. Or on their women. But we've opened the door to the palace. What do we get? Gourd seed. You get the final gourd seed. This is the last one. So we're opening out to what is essentially the mid-game, or the end game, sorry. What I'm going to do though, is I'm going to actually finish, before we head up to that, I'm actually going to finish off that Carp thing. Okay, and it gets a little bit convoluted narrative-wise, and I'll explain why I kind of took the direction I did. So you gotta head back this way. It's not very obvious. Like you come out of here and it's just like go for it, right? Like go see what this is. Go see what this game's about. But you want to uncover a few things first. So let's go back. So this way it takes you back to that idol that we opened up that takes us into the palace. Stay on the roof, and now we have access to that branch that I was looking at down there. So that's saying we needed to get to. So let's jump over to that. And use this to jump down to there, and now we're down at a location where we haven't been yet. It's Gatchin. Just because of archers here. And dogs. This place is interesting. So we're under. Watch out for the dogs. Watch out for just the lightning dogs. They're just annoying as fuck. I think we could safely jump onto that rock, kill this lightning dog. Get ready to just like jump lightning. Like they do serious shock. You have to actually jump over it, and I'm surprised you can mine that actually from them. So we're gonna find out what that's all about, actually, right now. So over here, there's this other blossom, a whole other thing. What's that all about? You can find yourself back into the waters of the Fountainhead. There's some items over here, I believe. I hope I didn't fuck myself. I think you can get back up there this way. It's good to explore all of this, so... Oh yeah, so you see where we need to go. But you see now... This is interesting. This is over where the carp... Over the giant carp's place. This is the broken bridge. We see an Okama warrior just resting and looking that way, and what we see is reminiscent of Ashina Castle. And It's kind of like broken, dilapidated, and you kind of see reminiscent of the temple. Just a little bit of symbolism, I think. And the flood. So I believe that my belief is that an asteroid came. It had some kind of alien symbiotic life form on it. It hit here. It created some weird shit with its biology, and it created a mythology of these beings that live on these other planes and whatnot. And really, they're just kind of infested with this microorganism that makes them be put in this symbiotic relationship. So let's get this. Don't worry about him. I know he looks big, and I know it took me forever to fucking jump down to this goddamn place because I saw that thing and I was just like, I'm not going down there. But we need to get to the feeding grounds so we can do this. Okay, so let's talk to him. What? Okay, so we ring a bell. Okay. Feed it. Interesting. Interesting. So Demon Bell, you can do a really good grind for Grave Wax here. Well, let's sit back, reset, and let's hit our bell and see what happens. We have some options, don't we? Let's use the Precious Bay for now. What do we do? Truly precious Bead. Which noble do we want? Which one? Which noble? So we fed one of the nobles truly precious bait. Now what happens? Where's the carp? It's so sad. But why? 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 Why is this guy so sad? Why is he so sad? So do you want to fight basically an ogre again. Yeah, let's do it. So, what do you need? Oil. Let's just give ourselves some pellets and some oil. Oh wait, living force will take out. Yeah, I won't buff on divine confetti till after. But oh, throw some oil on him. Oh, also get some fire rate. Don't actually have fire. Mortal draw. You have a 2-phase ogre fight. Do the same. He does the same amount of damage. Ooh. I've never ended up on one of those. But it's basically an ogre fight where you have a lot of room to run around and fight them. It's fun. You can do the same tricks. You can try some different shit out. I think, yeah, you can just burn him. Wait till he does something stupid. I didn't use living force. Just dumb. Fine confetti. Ooh, I slid. Bad. That's I can go crazy with the fire. Oops. Use jump, like for the iframes. Jump back. Whatever. Fine confetti. Just keep hammering away on it. It's like you're fighting the ogre. But a bigger, weirder, squiddier, what the fuckier version of it. These jumps. Back jump. Oh, and I get killed by it. Insta near death. Heal up. Heal up. Put him out of his misery. Forgive me. And we're given a whole bunch of carp skills. Now let's do some lower stuff. Let's travel back up. Now that we're down here, let's travel back up to the palace grounds. We've opened that door, remember? We've let the old woman in. Let's see what that means. see the palace nobles are dead. We see the woman stabbing these palace nobles. You beast. You beast.
何が貴族なものか、永遠なものか。返せ、父よ、父様を返せ。
So the crazy ladies that we see throughout the game are the daughters of a noble who became the Carp attendant, and who was persuaded by the Carp and became enthralled by it. So we're going to do something that, you know, I went to the location, and there's a reason why we have to remember where we found the precious bait. So let's think about the locations. What was the strangest one was the Sunken Valley, the Guardian Ape watering hole. Let's go to the Budavita Valley. Let's go there. And we'll see something. It's kind of not very obvious to come back and do this to get what you get, but you have to do it to platinum. So come back. Remember we said the water is pooled deepest here from the Sunken Valley. What happened? Whoa. We see the giant carp that we gave the truly precious bait to. Great white whisker. And we see the giant carp where the ape was. So how sacred was the ape? Like, was the ape, did they want to become the ape? How did it work at some other point in time? It's really interesting. And it's interesting that you come here for this. So let's travel. Who did we pick? I can't remember which one we actually picked. Let's head to this pot noble. Did I fuck this up? I can't remember. We got the lapis. Okay, so now we go to the other pot noble. Back at the Hirata estate. Remember? The Dragon Spring. The Dragon Spring. I love how that's all connected. You see exactly where the water's coming from, where it goes, and like where it all connects. And we're gonna see some stuff here. We're gonna end the main part of the stream after a boss fight, but after I do this first. So we're gonna come see this guy. So apparently we chose him. I forgot which one we choose. I just picked one. I may have messed it up, but I think this happens. What's going on? What's going on? They're both. One of them was dead. He's dead. The other one's left. Let's go find him. Where would he be? So he'd be swimming in the waters of the fountainhead, wouldn't he? Let's go find him. Let's head through here. These guys should be pretty simple by now. Really shouldn't care too much about any of this stuff. Keep it simple. Praying strikes, throwing stars. So even your single deflects will just ruin anything now at this point. Like, look at that, one throwing star. So you can very easily overpower nearly enemy, like basic enemy. So when you do fight like the ninjas, which we'll go and fight, we'll go fight some ninjas. You'll see how much posture damage you do against them now, and what you can do with the mask. What was I gonna do? Oh yeah, so we're gonna go back to the Fountainhead Palace, travel, and we're gonna go to the flower viewing stage again. We got a piece of we got a couple pieces of lapis, didn't we? We got one piece of lapis out of that. We got 2 pieces now, so we've purchased 2. So let's have a look at our upgrades when we can. But let's go see here. You notice the direction that the pot was out. Let's head into the water. Remember, he was up there. Let's head down. Who's this carp with red eyes that we see? Who is this? Who is this person? This carp with red eyes. We've made him carp-like, so we can purchase all of the items that you've been able to purchase from the other guy up until this point. You can get here. I am going to get the lapis. Because early on in the game, on your new Game Plus, you can get the redwood, the gourd, and the floating passage text quite easily with just the scales that you get, even before you get the Mibu breathing technique again, if you play a new Game Plus. Just get your lapis. This is the stuff that you get in a very limited supply every playthrough, so just get it. Spend your scales on this. So we've bought out the lapis. We don't need to buy any more of this. We could buy the floating passage text, which is useful against a certain boss. The withered gourd. I would rather, I mean, there's one kind of boss you can use it on, but I very rarely have ever used it, so I kind of don't really care about it. I don't believe that using the treasure scale for a divine grass is really super helpful, or a blood droplet, so I would just hold on to your scales. Even though he, you know, wants more. You can give him more, and it's interesting. But, so now we've explored quite a bit at the Fountainhead. I believe we've done all of the mini-boss things. Can we actually cash in the... Can you actually cash in the... What's it called? Carp? Who do you give the greatest score to? Who do you give the Great Whisker to? Or do you even get a... do you even get somebody... Was I supposed to take it to the attendant? Did I fuck that up? That's awesome if I did. Okay, well, let's go see if he's still alive. Or if he can be revived somehow. He's of the Fountainhead. Maybe he's immortal. I think I might have broken my chances of getting that lapis. Oh well. Let's travel over to the feeding grounds. Damn, I broke it. So you're supposed to give that to him and then you get an attack power. But I've already upped my attack power significantly, so let's go ahead and let's boss our way out of this place. I'm gonna head back to the Fountainhead flower viewing stage and just get my skill point. And then what I might do is just split the stream up. I'm gonna do a quick grind up to the skill point. I might grind up just to a quick another attack power and then come back on and do the rest of this level. Okay. So yeah, so watch me, I'll do this again. This is one of the better places to do this now. So that's the sound you want to listen for. I mean, she's gonna jump for lightning. Have piercing stab ready, and just in case, mortal draw. Jump up. Just jump her out of the air. Jump up. Jump on him. Piercing stab just destroys them. So I'm gonna spend, I don't know, it'll probably take me like 20 minutes to grind up like that, and then I'm gonna come back and I'll announce that stream. So this has been kind of the upper mid game. We're now going to head into the late game. We'll start off our first encounter. We'll go back to Kuro and talk with him, and then actually, let's just do this now. See if we need to do this. I can't remember if this is an order you need to do this in or not. But we'll talk to them now, and we'll see if this works and what they have to say, and if everything is still set up right, we'll just continue on with the end game.
この忍び、そこにいらっしゃるのですか。
Here we go.
お主、目が。
やはりいらしてくださったのですね。巫女の忍びよ、私はゆり
Here we
かごと
go.
なれたようで
We've
す。
set up the return. This is the last phase. So now we get the
いた
snow.
だけますか。
I believe we take the snow.
これは
ひんやりと氷室のようでございましょう。
So we get this like ice brace, which is
私
super
の涙
powerful.
もこぼれ落ちる間にいてついてしまう。
So we got the
この
frozen
氷
tears.
涙をお授けしましょう。
Frozen tears shed by the divine child of rejuvenation. Once she became the cradle. They are frozen drops. Having crew drink both the dragon's tears and the frozen tears, the cradling ritual can be performed. Cold dragon tears are just that. So we have what we need now to do the return ending, which is considered the canon ending of the game. So we'll go ahead and do that.
氷涙かもしや
はい、おそらくは冷たい竜の涙が指すのは竜の涙とともにこの氷涙を飲んでいただくことかと。さすればきっと九郎様にゆりかごに宿っていただくことが叶うでしょう。巫女の忍びよ、私にできることならばお任せください。
Request rice.
なんだ
お手を、
あ
白金の豊穣を、
これは冷たい
凍えたこの体がお米を冷たく輝かせるのでしょう。
まるでささめ雪だ
確かに。ではそう呼びましょう。巫女の忍びよ、ささめ雪をどうぞ。
Wine and snow. I
お
accept.
米は
Rice is
大事。
precious.
きっとまたいた
So
だき
now,
にいらしてく
now
だ
once
さい。
you've gotten this point in the game, you get
すみません。おこまた
so you can do the persimmon.
巫女の忍びよ、きっとまたいらしてください。
Okay, so now you can use the fine snow, which is like the rice, but it's like way better. It's insane. It like keeps you healing for like a minute, and every chunk of healing it does is like a quarter of your life. Like if you're using this, I would save this. I would use this in your final like moments of the game if you think you're about to win one of the bigger boss battles coming up. I would hold on to this and use this like when you feel that you're about to break through and win. Because it will just it will give you continuous healing for a long time. And I think you can just keep coming back and getting it from her. I think you can do a mining thing. I can't remember though. Might be wrong. So I'm gonna head back to Kuru. I think I've done everything. I think I've talked. Yes, I've talked to Emma. I've done the grave thing. Done the eavesdrop. I'll do one more eavesdrop just to see. And then we'll do... I'll break, and then I'll do a quick grind, and then we'll do most of the end game. Possibly the entire end game. I might just go for it. We'll see. Right. Actually, let's do this. We get some lore by going actually by finding Emma. So we eavesdrop on Kuru now. What the fuck was that? Can I do an eavesdrop on him now? So I think we can tell him about the Divine Realm.
どうか無事
大事ないか。そうじゃ。これをそなたに。
Again, these are
竜の涙、必ず手に入れてまいります。
頼む。
okay. So we've gotten all the items, like these sweet rice balls. Now we can use not the Kuru one. I can't remember which one. I don't think it matters now. I think we got both. It's okay. But they're like super versions of this even. So save this stuff for your final battle. It will the healing it gives you is amazing. Use it when you feel it's worth it and when you can make the most of it. Okay. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do a quick grind, and then I'm gonna come back and do the last part of the game. I think the most of the enemies. Yeah, we'll do the end. Okay, so I'll catch you guys in a bit.